who's going to call the meeting to an order?
What board members do we have?
Marvin, Alexandra, and Guillermo.
Okay, Marvin, do you wanna call the meeting to order, or do you want me to run through the agenda?
Yeah. Let's call the meeting to order. Who's present? Sound off, please.
Daniel Epstein.
Mariano Madero.
Alexandra Kuzmierski.
Mariano's here as well.
Guillermo.
Regina.
Marvin.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. We don't have Regina, correct?
Correct.
Can you call her?
Alright. Okay. Meeting's been called to order at 7:04 p.m. We have 5 members in attendance. Posting of the meeting affidavit has been posted. Do we have a review for the minutes from the previous meeting?
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
No, I want them to read it, please.
Well, I don't know.
I want them to read it.
Okay.
Somebody can read them, I don't know.
Marvin, can you read the minutes?
אני בכוונה אומר, לא רוצה...
I cannot read the minutes, I am driving.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
secretary can read.
So, meeting called to order by Marvin Lebowitz on 7/11. Establishment of quorum established. Proof of notice posted on July 30th. Both minutes read by Mariano Madero and approved. All in favor? Paul Warren raised his concern with reference to Martin Lebowitz having a violation fee removed from his leisure without being properly ratified in a duly noticed board meeting. This could have made Mr. Lebowitz not eligible to run for the BOD. Explanation on the process of the removal was given by Roberto Blanche without breaking attorney-client confidentiality agreement. Daniel Epstein made a motion to have a closed-door meeting with association attorney to discuss Marvin Lebovitz's eligibility to the board, scheduled for Friday, August the 6th, 2021 at 4 p.m. Mariano Madero seconded the motion. All in favor? All business compressors. Property manager Udi Manor explained the importance of replacing the AC compressors in Tower 2. The 2 separate bids received the bid process and the replacement procedure. Daniel Epstein made a motion to approve AMP air conditioning to replace compressors. Alejandra Kazmierski seconded. All in favor. Capital renovation update. Daniel Epstein explained current negotiation status, with both parties interested going to mediation. Roberto Blanche gave synopsis of negotiations and described that all deficiencies and workmanship defects found will be presented during mediation, as well as breach of contract with reference to the installation of doors. PH Pool Project. Property manager Udi Manor gave an update on Tower 1 PH Pool Project, explaining the reasons behind the shortfall of $39,000 which needs to be assessed to all penthouse unit owners. The main reason for the shortfall was due to the failure to account for engineering service fees at the time of signing the contract. Udi Manor gave an estimated completion time of 3 to 4 weeks, weather permitting. Additionally, Udi Manor announced that the majority penthouse unit owners have voted to go with all the alternates related to the penthouse pool deck, totaling $117,000, and which will need to be assessed individually. The board will have to bid the shop to 2 additional contractors prior to selecting a vendor to carry out the task. Emergency roof leak. Property manager Udi Manor gave explanation necessary roof repairs on Tower 2. He went over the 3 received bids, Best Roofing, Resort Construction, and Cherry Roofing. Cherry Roofing was the only company willing to provide 1-year warranty for the shop. Mariano Madero made motion to approve Cherry Roofing. Daniel Epstein seconded. All in favor. 40-year recertification update. Marvin Lebowitz shared that the board, together with the management, interviewed 5 engineering firms: Epic Forensic, ND5, the Falcon Group, S&D Engineering, and Bill & Reinhardt. Board is waiting on 5 bids in order to make a decision. It was further explained that the permit phase could potentially take up to 6 or 7 months. Appointment of member to the grievance committee. Daniel Epstein made a motion to approve the following unit owners as grievance committee members: Sandra Samuels, Daniel Salomon, Alberto Salzberg, Edward Rosinski, and Matilde Ivanova. Mariana Magro, seconded.
Danny.
Alejandra Kazmierski,
Can't even hear.
Regina Golden in favor, motion passed by majority. Adjournment, Daniel Epstein made a motion to adjourn meeting at 10:04. Mariana Magro seconded, all in favor.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I make the motion to approve the minutes.
I second,
All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm in favor.
Guillermo, yes.
Motion is passed unanimously then with all 5 board members voting in favor. Marvin, go ahead, next item on the agenda.
Roberto Regina is here. I just joined in.
Thank you, Regina.
You're welcome.
Marvin, you're up to item 5, new business.
I think he left.
Okay,
We have a vice president.
Yeah,
Sure.
Mexico.
Um,
Udi can do it.
Yeah, he dropped out.
We will let Udi continue to run through the agenda. We still have a quorum of board members. Go ahead, Udi.
So item number 5 on the new business is voting on replacement of washer dryers on all floors. We obtained 3 bids for the replacement of washer and dryers. One of the 3 bids includes the current company that provides those services right now, CSC. The board was presented with all 3 bids. One company came higher than the other 2. And the board was provided with the breakdown of the 3 differences going with each company. That's it.
can you explain what is that normally we get from the contract? What is that it costs to the members? Who is the cost of replacing the machines?
We'll start with your last question. Cost replacing the machine falls as part of the contract. This is a service that's provided by the company that provides the laundry and dryer machines. All contracts go for 84 months. 2 companies, Wash and CSC, which is the current company, are giving $23,000 as key money. The other company, Washco, is giving $20,000. Washco also is paying only 50% commission on the revenues after they collect $47, $24 a month. Both Wash and CSC give 55% commission to Delvista after collecting $3,650 per month, so significantly lower than Washco. There are 2 types of machines that we were looking for and asked for proposals for. One is the front load machines, which one of the main benefits of having it is cost effective in terms of saving on water. Those machines usually use about 40 to 50% less water in a wash cycle than the top loads machines. I was also told that those machines provide better quality washing by not ruining the clothing as much. There was a concern as to the door opening of the front load machine. If it opens up from right to left, then when we try to transfer the clothing from one machine to the other, we're gonna have to go above the door of the dryer. So when I spoke to the companies, they can provide drying machines and they can reallocate the door to open from left to right. So this way, we have two doors opening this way, and moving clothing from one machine to the other is gonna be smooth and easy.
Would you tell whoever that person is to stop talking?
It's routine.
Well, tell her to stop talking.
So this bit is only from the front road?
No, we have also the top load.
That's why there's 2 pages, front load,
The
machine
cover
load.
is the top load.
Woody, what does key money mean?
Key money is, they give you, to sort of like get in the door,
I see.
they give you money. Now, that money
Is a credit.
no, it's
It's a
cash
check.
out front, and, it's a one lump sum. Technically, what's used with that money is to improve the laundry rooms, which we're in dire need. It hasn't been done in a long time, the floorings, painting the walls. The board will have to decide on the usage of the money. Previously, when CSC entered our building and gave us the same amount, I believe it was 23 at the time, I can check.
Woody,
That money was,
A question, please,
let him finish that, Udo.
That-
Let him finish something on the key money, then you answer.
yeah, well, this has to do with the CSC machines that you're referring to, with the front load, before we move that point there. Is that the specimen that Daniel has on his floor?
yes, so we
What-
bought a
okay.
machine.
So for those who are listening, residents who would like to go check the machines out, Daniel, you are on, what's your floor again?
18th floor.
It's divide.
18th floor,
The comment is divide.
18th floor, tower 2,
Right.
you can actually see a
Has a
specimen.
sample machine,
Yeah, okay.
correct, with a front load.
Right, thank you so
They did
much.
ask for comments,
Mhm.
to me it's divide.
We asked users to give us comments on it, and it was pretty much, a split decision. There were people that liked it and people that were, concerned.
Is that up for a vote today?
Yes.
What is the concern?
One was about the doors, which I addressed, that it can be,
Moving the-
it can
moving
be-
the laundry
once
from
we
one
have
to the other.
correct. Another concern, was what happens if, the, washing machine gets stuck in the middle? If it gets stuck in the middle now with the top load, you can just open it up and move your clothing. You're not gonna be able to do it with the front load, because if the door opens, you're gonna have a flood. So, when there's water inside the machine and the machine gets stuck during cycle, the door gets jammed, it will not open.
It's blocked.
But now, we need to get a technician here, and they manually empty the machine so you can open the door.
No, I don't expect that to happen at all.
No, you better respect everything that happens, especially when you have these
You
many
better.
floors.
Another thing, what you guys didn't pay, maybe I did pay attention over there. The commission on the front and the upper load is higher than the front load. Because if you look at page 2, you did a mistake, it's supposed to be over front load. They paying you commission if you go CNC, they paying you commission after, on the top load after 3,200, and the front load after 3,600, 3,650. And it's the same formula in both of them, it's a $400 a month, less commission on
On the top,
the top load. No.
$400 less on the top.
Yeah, the thing is, I look at all those cut sheets. It's a huge saving on water with the
Front load.
front load. In all honesty, they did the sample in my floor, it's divide.
But you know, the only thing you need is for one incident to happen, somebody not call the office, because people wash at all hours of the day, and you get a little flood in there.
No,
It's not going to
It's
open.
not going to open.
It just, it
It's
locks?
locked,
Yeah.
yeah, if something happen, it's locked. But they all agree, in my floor, all of them agree, the laundry doing better. One woman came, told me, you know, it's twice to bend. I said, when you bend from the dryer anyway, you know what I'm saying? So,
I think the bending is the top negative thing about the front door. I'm surprised that still exists the other ones with the pallets like moving like this. It's from my mom.
I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you, if I look in every brochure, what they putting, and when you go today to appliances store, you mostly see everybody with a front loader.
Yeah.
So
But the top loader, you say is cheaper.
the top loader,
As far as the commission savings,
it's about $400 a month, but
per machine?
no, for all, $400 a month, but on another side, you're saving easy 50% on water.
The point on the money is that you have this entry door fee that they pay you in starting the contract. That's one thing. That's one point. Then there is a threshold. So the threshold is when you start earning commission. So until you don't get to the threshold, they don't pay you anything. So the threshold in the front load, in the top load machines is lower. So you cash first. And seems like the cost is the same in terms of the each service, and the threshold is a little higher on the front load. So it's a matter, I believe, of preference.
Correct. Also, it's important to know that the prices per wash and per drying with Washco, which is the company that pays less commission and takes a higher number before they pay commission, they're staying at $1.25 per cycle. With the company that we have right now, it's going up to $1.40, so it's going up by 15 cents. And the other company, it's going up by 25 cents to $1.50 per cycle.
How,
You're getting higher commission, but remember, I remember the last year, all the utility got higher, you know, before I got on the board, we got few email, all the water got increased by 20-30%, I don't know.
That's what we're talking about the budget, when we did the budget.
Yeah, when we did the budget, you know what I'm saying?
Mariano and Udi, last year, how long did it take for us to meet that threshold on the current contract? Roughly, any idea?
We hit it like mostly every month.
Okay.
No, it's not every month, but
It's
it's
pretty much
mostly every month.
standard.
Okay, so the threshold then is not a, it's
No,
not a
but
problem.
remember,
then.
Paul,
Shouldn't be one.
remember, Paul, the last year was the corona, the building was more full than usually, you know, I don't know what's happened,
Okay, you told us the benefits and disadvantages. Why don't you ask the other members if they have any input and
Yeah.
take a vote?
Any comments, Guillermo, Regina, Alexandra? Any concern?
Yeah, I'd like to discuss, concerns on the unit.
Not really.
Marvin does.
not really about what, front load?
He doesn't have any concerns,
Any concern, doesn't,
But Marvin says he did.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, Marvin?
Yes, while I like front load units, I do not like them for high rises. Reason being is if somebody has to open it, water comes out. I understand here that they have a fail-proof mechanism, where they'll have that blocked where an individual can't open it, because it'll automatically stay locked until a technician comes out to manually service the machine. However, that becomes an inconvenience because it's highly unlikely that you're going to have a technician there coming out Johnny out of the pump within an hour or 2 hours. You might have a There are some top loaders out there that have also today better savings of water. So I am against a top load front entry load machine for a condo, especially if we rely on a technician to come and service it. The only other issue I want to make as well is when we negotiated the last contract, Udi, I think negotiated it where we got about $30,000 or $35,000.
It was rejected.
From our present company,
It was-
not 20 or 23.
It was rejected twice. It was rejected twice.
What was rejected?
The offers to give us 35 was rejected, and then to give us 30 was rejected.
Did you look at what we had in the past? Was it 30 when we did this 5 or 6 or 7 years ago? I can't remember, but I think it was around 30.
I can't remember, I don't,
It was less than
I don't
30.
remember seeing 30 last time, but I can check.
Yeah, you can look at our contract, but we definitely need to
We don't have the
negotiate
contract.
a higher amount for him to kick into us to retain the to retain the contract.
I went back and forth with all three companies on the, key money, and this is as high as they're gonna go.
Well, I don't wanna make a decision on this, tonight. I actually wanna meet, with our current, company.
Listen, I have a point of order here. Isn't Marvin disqualified already, or why is he voting? I mean, last time we had somebody who was unqualified, they were immediately put off the board. Now he is gonna gum this up because he prefers one machine, he wants to get involved in negotiations for God only knows what benefit for him. I don't want this guy voting anymore. Roberto, you're the general counsel here. Why is he still voting when it was proven that he was in debt and he hasn't paid his debt?
I've discussed that with the board, and, the board has been presented with some options. As it stands, he is not disqualified. He is a board member. He is expressing, his point. I don't know if the other board members are going to move anyway to approve the
Well, but you
decision.
really haven't answered my question. If somebody's unqualified, arbitrarily, they can just stay on the board, so why do we have qualifications?
There's no conclusion to the statement that he's unqualified. The basis that someone would have to make is that he was not eligible at the time that he ran to be on the board.
Yeah, he wasn't qualified at the time he ran.
There was a reversal of that charge. There was a credit issued by the association to him, when.
Then I want a credit from the no, this is becoming a little bit of a mockery. We have rules, they're not applied, and now he's trying to gum up a vote on these machines. And he's also encountered another problem right now that's gonna result in a lawsuit against the board. And I'm telling you all, you keep letting this guy, he's gonna run this place into the ground. We all know what he did with capital. He picked capital, he got some benefit out of it, because he was up there, hoo-ha continuously, and the board let him continue to supervise it. And now on a simple contract for a washing machine, nobody has the internal fortitude to say, listen, you weren't qualified, you're out, you're off. Every resident in this building is gonna go, I don't wanna hear from you. I don't wanna hear from you. You're a lying sack of potatoes. I don't wanna hear from this guy. I'm asking the board to not allow him to vote. This guy is an incompetent moron who's attacked a member of the board, who's attacked people here in the building, and you guys can't let him go on and on. Hey Bozo, go to your mommy for money, okay? Get a job.
Let's stop.
Yes, Mariano.
We need machines, we need to vote on this. Let's not allow this to happen. We can,
Call whoever you want, you nitwit. You're the one that's getting in trouble, sticking your dog on people, physically attacking residents. You nitwit.
Once again, Milian, you are reporting absolute lies.
Yeah, how much is the lawsuit gonna cost us right now that's pending?
Mr. Mayor, I think,
Fabricated lies, Milian.
I think,
Pure fabricated lies that you are spewing to the unit owners and to the association.
Yeah, I'm ashamed that I live in a place where you're a resident.
Okay, can we stop minutes? I think, Marvin,
Please,
you know.
please.
Okay, with all due
Can we-
No,
respect.
no, cut it out. Let's get back to what Mariano
Yes,
said.
I think
Can
the
we
minutes.
move with the
Yes.
things we need to discuss, and we can discuss about the qualification, not qualification at the end, at least we have
Right.
some things getting done. So, Alexandra, Guillermo, any concerns about the machines or the change in the provider?
Not really. I
Alexandra,
could stay with the same.
you would stay with the same, okay. Alexandra?
I vote to change.
For what, to the front loader?
Yes, because the water conservation,
So you would prefer the
First,
front
let's
load
take the
machine?
machines after we go to the company.
Yes, yes, okay, and you, Regina?
What's the capacity of the front loader? How many pounds, do we know?
Yes, good question.
So here, let's.
Because right now, we've got a very big tub. And it, you know, when it cleans your, on our floor, it cleans beautifully. Alexandra, have you had any problems on the
Alexander have his own machine at home.
yeah, I have my own machine at home, but when I have used the one on the floor, it does a good job. I think that, and with water costs, you know, if we can save anything, it would be good to switch.
Well, if you notice, it doesn't go to the top, but I was just curious as to the capacity. And I like front loaders, doesn't rip the clothes, it's gentle. It's a nice cycle, it goes round and round, and it gives you a better wash.
So it looks like it's 3.42 cubic feet, Regina.
Okay,
And how much is the other one?
how many
Yeah.
pounds is that?
I think that by volume.
Danny, was it a nice size, the one they put on?
Yes.
So 30.19, so it's smaller. The front, the top load is smaller,
Uh-huh,
little bit smaller,
yeah.
like 10%.
And the key money that we got from the company the last time was a lot more, Marvin and Mike.
Let me-
Today, the key money we have at hand, Regina, it's 23,000 for two companies, including CSC, which is the one we have today, and the third company, Washco, it's $20,000 in key money. The benefit in that case is that the resident would be paying a little bit less because the service is 1.25 and CSC is 1.4. So it's 15 cents difference a cycle.
To the current company we have now, we're being rated.
Let me ask you a
No, we
question.
have the current company. It's of the three options. It's in the middle. It's going to be for the new contract 1.4. So $1.40, and the one that pays us the less is 1.25.
Let me ask you, Woody, a question.
But the key money has to be raised if they want.
Well, it's a competitive
They gave us more
bidding.
incentive last time. They gave us more incentive last time.
I think we can revisit that once before hiring.
Yes.
If
Yes.
it's yes, it's yes. If not, it's not.
But Mariano, he's told you they don't wanna go beyond 20.
No.
They're rejected, they're
It's not
rejected.
rejected. I tell you, I can get easy from the key money more. And I tell you how I can do it. I tell you how I can do it. Let's assume I go with the front loader. I tell them I pay you the same commission, the same, but give me the $400 in advance. You know what I'm saying? It's a trick over there.
But you cannot do this
Why?
because of what you said before, that probably these numbers are reliant upon the fact that we had COVID. And we may not, we may,
All I'm saying over here, with the front loader, the minimum is 3,600 and
32.
and the uploader is 32. You have a $400. If I stick with With the front loader, I want the $400 back.
But it's two things. It's one thing is the money. Yeah. At the end, everything has to do with the money that people pay. It's either
The
the
only
service or
Yeah, the only
they
thing
get in the
what I concern, Mariano, I
But
tell you.
then it's the quality of the thing you get. People needs to wash and needs to
Correct.
wash.
The only thing what I'm worried, and I'm quite open. We didn't get the real answer. What's happen if somebody is stuck? You know what I'm saying? How often it's stuck if you have to wait for his laundry for a day until they come.
Look, I have a
My idea is to divide it half and half. One floor this and one floor.
So you're saying half of the people are gonna get a disadvantage that you're talking about?
No,
Just
no.
take a vote and pick whichever machine you think is best. I mean, if you have a machine that locks in there, they're gonna be liable if the machine doesn't lock in there and there's any damages. Mr. Blanche, am I correct?
I think that, one of the things you should ask, I mean, has it been confirmed that in order to extract the accumulated water, they would need to come out and do it? There's no way for you guys to do it, cause when mine at home gets stuck, I can
Release it.
release it myself, but
so-
that's a retail as opposed to a commercial, so I don't know if
That's
there's a
what I
difference.
So I'm assuming that a maintenance guy can actually learn how to do this, or a maintenance team, but the problem, what do you do at 9 PM?
The way to
Well,
But
then
that's, I mean, but again, the issue here is, you know, on the one hand, you need to call your vendor to come out here and do it. Secondly, you have to evaluate the cost savings. I think that the front end loader are a lot more efficient and, are using less water, so that goes to your utility costs. And as far as going with alternating products, Danny, I don't know if the vendors would agree to that, because, you know, that becomes another question. So, you know, if you're gonna be coming up with all these variables, then you're deviating significantly from the proposals that have been put in front of you. I think you can make a decision on the proposals that have been put in front of you, maybe go back to them and ask for a little more, door fee, but, you know, that's fine, but as far as the boilerplate terms of the proposals, I think you gotta either vote on them or go back and renegotiate, and then God knows when you're gonna be back here.
We have time till March, what, till
Yeah, the
March.
contract is not up yet.
But I'm telling, I want to put a point over it. Any money we're getting, we're going to use it right away, immediately, to fix all those rooms. I mean, this renovation, nobody touched those rooms. And what I understood from Moody, they're going to do it half of the building and half of the floor yes, floor no, so we renovate them and we put this. If we taking the money and using to somebody else, I'm against it.
Okay, so that the contract is due in March, that's an important piece of information that we should incorporate. So when we need to make the decision? It's need to be done today, because if not, on March, the machines are not going to be ready, delivered, what's the situation?
Well, when I spoke with Maria from CSC, we can actually break that contract.
Okay, if we decide today, they can start the new contract as soon as the
Correct.
machines are ready and installed,
Correct.
but not the other ones.
No.
Your existing provider is who?
CSC.
So if I choose the other one, I have to stay anyway till March.
I have to wait.
Do we have any notes of the experience with CSC?
What do you mean notes?
It's good, it's
Yeah,
bad,
yeah,
they
for the
pick up
last
the
time.
phone when you call them.
Oh, CSC has been, at least my experience, great. Whenever we needed them, the problem is that there's technology that's not used often. Every resident who can play with his phone can download the app, and if there's an issue with the machine, they just put it against the barcode on the machine, and it sends automatically service call to the company, and the next day they're here.
I can attest to that. You actually scan the thing, and it opens a service ticket immediately, and you're given an update as to when the dispatch is going to happen.
Now, they gave me another thing, actually. They, because I didn't like the way that resident gets refunds on money. Whenever they put money and, let's say, cycle didn't work. So the way it works, they have to contact the company, call 1-800 number, and they send them a check for $1.25. I thought this was ridiculous, so I told them, give me please a card, load it up with $100. And then whenever something like that happens, we will provide the card for that particular person until it gets depleted, but we'll report every time. So at least it's a lot faster, and people don't have to wait for a check in a minute.
So, in my opinion, we should,
We should table it in the search for more information.
I think we are ready to, in my opinion, we should decide.
I'm going for the
If,
phone.
I mean, when we come to a board meeting, I assume that the manager exhausted the negotiation, possibilities.
I'm
And in
going
this
for
case,
the phone.
you have three, and the three are not different one to the other, so.
Except in one of the, what he was explaining, in one you save money, so you don't at least raise the cost per load, right?
No, we're raising on all of them.
No,
No, one no.
No, Danny.
We're raising on
125.
two of them. This one goes from 125 to 140, this one is going from 125 to 150. That's the only one that's.
Yeah, but he
But this one
charging me,
gives the less-
he charging me $1,000 in advance.
Well, he's
The
paying only 50% commission after collecting $1,000 more a month than the other two,
One is, it's more convenient for the, each service that you pay, and the other one gets more money to the association.
So
At the end, it's our
may I
money.
make a suggestion, take a vote on the front loader, or the top loader, and then take a vote on which company is preferable.
Yes, or table, whatever.
I'm
Whatever
going-
we can make a motion to.
I'm going for the phone.
Okay, is there a motion for
Decide which one.
voting on front loader or top loader?
I'm second.
like he did.
We need to make the
He
motion.
lost that motion.
Okay.
So no motion?
I make a motion to decide which machine, or phone, or upper.
No, I make a motion, the front load machines.
Make a motion to front load, machine.
Who is in favor of using front load machines?
Did you get,
Well,
there was a
anybody
first, there was a
second?
motion,
I need to say
Alex,
second.
Alex seconded the motion to switch to front-loaded machines, that was the motion made by Danny.
Yeah.
Any discussion on that motion?
Yes.
All in
I make a
favor?
motion that we, table voting on this, for this evening and we revisit it.
That motion
Till we
is in
have
a,
some more, till we have some more discussions with the, vendor.
that motion is untimely, there's presently a motion to, approve switching to front-loaded machines, that motion was seconded, the item is up now for discussion. If there is no discussion, the question can be called to a vote. Any discussion on the motion made by Danny and seconded by Alexandra? There being no
Yes, I think
there,
we need to have more information on how long it's gonna take for them to service the machine. If it's that to close in there.
well, right now, the only
Or
motion,
whether or not our,
the only
that
motion,
plays a big part in, going to a front load machine.
the only motion isn't even to select a vendor, it's just to switch to front-loaded machines, Marvin, so I think your
I
point,
understand that, but we need further information if a machine breaks of how long it's gonna take to get it serviced so that the people can get their clothes out of there and whether or not the vendor's gonna allow our maintenance person, if they're trained, to open up a machine. in
Was
order
he
to
listening
get
to you,
the break time
Mariano?
out.
That's unfair, that's a
Your
fair point.
pass.
I think this is out of order, with all due respect.
It's a fair point.
So table it, what you want.
well, the motion is made and seconded, his point is that you should get more information, I mean, he's probably gonna vote against the motion, but the motion has been made and seconded. So there should be a vote on that motion, you still haven't selected a vendor, so, you know, are you going to select a vendor? Or whoever made the motion can withdraw their motion, but, I mean, a motion's been made and seconded, it's properly on the table.
I'm voting for a front loader.
Okay, so,
Mariano,
Yes.
Can I ask Danny, Danny, how far from the floor is the door of the front loader? Do you have to bend very low?
it's the same height as the dryer. The same height is the dryer. Tell her, it's the same height.
Same height as the dryer, Regina.
Same height as the dryer. Okay.
I thought you were taking a roll vote now.
The motion that was made was to switch to front-loaded machines.
Okay, is there any other vote for the front load machine? I vote in favor.
Danny
So it's
voted in
two.
favor, so there's 2 votes in favor of switching to front-loaded machines. Any other board member, please?
Alexander was in favor.
Alex is in favor.
I'm thinking about the people in the building who have a hard time bending.
So how do you use the dryer?
I like the front load.
No. My question is, how do you use the dryer, the people with the back? It's the same problem.
Yeah, but, right, the dryer, you just throw the things in, but the washer, you have to take it out. And it is easier with a top loader.
Well, and this will also help that people aren't leading me into the top loader, because I've been in that situation before where I've bent into the top loader and it's hard to get my stuff out.
You see, everybody's different.
You have to dive in the top loader.
You're at a stage of a vote.
So we shall know what is your vote?
Are we allowed to ask questions? Guys, when if it's a top loader, you can, like, during the cycle, you can open the top and put something or this, nothing changed. But when it's a front loader, there's nothing you can do. For me, that would be a decision.
Yeah, you're right. Correct.
I think you cannot do anything when the cycle is initiated, Margarita.
You cannot open it once it starts.
No, you need to wait until the
You
end.
cannot add,
That would be a deal breaker for me, but I guess who is asking?
Take the vote on the top loader, already. We're not getting back into discussions
Oh,
again.
we have that?
No, Alexander voted for the top loader.
Yeah, we are 3 on the front loader.
And you need Regina, Marvin,
and
Guillermo.
Michelle didn't vote. You need to vote, guys.
I'm gonna vote for the top loader.
Say that again, Regina, please.
Regina going for top loader.
Top loader, okay.
Danny, I'm a top loader.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Marvin?
Marvin?
I'm a top loader unless we have, some technical questions that are satisfactory on the,
Okay, Guillermo?
that can be answered on the front loader. I do like
Yeah.
front loaders, but there's a couple technical questions that need to be answered.
Okay, it's a
All
draw.
right,
It's a
3 to
draw.
3.
Table it. It's a draw. Table it.
Okay.
It's a draw.
So I make the motion to table, given there's a tie.
Motion is made to table these.
I second the motion.
Alexandra seconds. All in favor?
I am in favor, yes.
Yes.
Not a problem.
Yes?
All in
Yeah,
favor.
Anybody
it's a tie.
opposed, anybody opposed to the tabling of this item? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, voting on the engineering company for the 40-year recertification.
Danny, you want to open? Or Marvin?
Yeah, after having reviewed all the, contracts
I have a
and
problem.
interviewing the individual, companies and so forth, extensive, time spent with them. I agree with Danny that our first choice, is to be Epic. Our second choice would be, Falcon, but I'm in favor of moving forward at this time with, Epic.
That's a motion made for the selection of Epic. Is there a second?
Correct.
Is there a second to that
I
motion?
second the motion.
Alex seconds. Is there any discussion by the board before, the question is called for a vote?
Yes, my recommendation, after doing a lot of homework, hours, is,
What
Ma-
do you describe the process that
Yeah.
we went through?
okay. We interview five engineering companies. We narrow it to 2. The 2 of them, it's Epic and Falcon. Me and Mariano, they spend a lot of time with Epic and Falcon. We decide to go with Epic first, depends our lawyer going to check all the condition and everything, and with the recommendation. It's been a change since Surfside. The advantage we have with Epic, they have our own inspector. We have to have a partial inspector, and we think we're going to save a lot of money with them. So my suggestion is to vote for Epic. Second, it's Falcon, and close the deal in the next 30 days.
So yes, we interviewed like 5 companies. We got 5 proposals. So 3 of them are hard choices. Villa Reinhardt is one of the hard choices. Why? Because they did a good job on the pH pool project.
Yes.
Regarding cost, they are more attractive than the other ones. They have one problem, that is they are based on Sarasota. So each time they need to make a visit, they need to bill you $900 for the visit. And also they cannot be here to be up to date on every single detail on the construction. Other than that, I think they are a good choice. So we have then MB5 that they are aiming to subcontract to the same guys we are quoting to, so it's really expensive, so I wouldn't consider that one. And S&D, which the proposal is not very accurate. It's for a 50-year certification. It's on the name of a different condominium, so it doesn't look like they have their things together very well. And also, one of the things that for me are important regarding the cost is the cost of the construction management, because that's where you have a contractor here and you don't know how long it's going to take. So if the cost of that phase is too high, you end up with much higher engineering costs. So S&D is the higher on that one. Falcon Group and Epic, both interviews were much better. The proposals are similar in cost, and they are very comprehensive. So all of them does the survey. So meaning they come here and assess in which condition the building is regarding the 40-year certification. So for the same cost that Falcon, Epic, other than that, they add a construction assessment. So given that they are here and they need to visit the building and walk it and go to the balconies, when they are doing that, if they see things that are not within compliance with the 40-year certification or the structural work, but are there for them to be seen, they include a different report, and that's a nice touch, let's say. So regarding the design phase, I was much impressed on Epic on the description of the tasks, and same on the bidding process. So once they design, they are going to handle, this is both Falcon and Epic the same, they're going to handle all the bidding process, the RFP to the constructors, and they're going to analyze, level, and so you end up having apples to make a fair decision. And then in the construction.
I have a question, Mariano.
Yeah.
Hi, Mariano. Is Epic the one from Sarasota?
No.
No, Villa Reinhardt is the one from Sarasota, sorry.
Okay, what made us decide to get a bid from them? Did we solicit them or did they solicit us?
We asked them.
Okay, was it because there weren't enough local companies to bid on this process? Project?
The reason why we include them, not thinking or thinking that it would have been possible to hire them, it's because they were working here on the pool of the pH in Tower 1. So in that case, I've seen them work and they are pretty solid. But one thing is to do the pH pool, which is more concentrated in one place, and different is when you have swinging chairs all over the place, and they need to go and certify that the work the constructor is doing. So if they are not so it's not easy for them to come here and do the supervision, it's like a drawback for them.
So that begs the question, why were they used for the penthouse pool? Which, by the way, they're way overscheduled. They've been at that pool for 2 years now.
They are the engineers, they are not the contractor.
Well, but it's over 2 years now.
We didn't pick them up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't pick them up.
Me neither.
No, I think that was picked up by Marvin and Mark Braun in the past.
The one thing they told us when we did interview, they can be here only once a week. So
Well, I think you guys have the information. Why don't you put it up for discussion, make a motion to decide who you're voting on?
The reason why I would like to explain is for everybody to have the same information. I have to the extent possible.
How often do you expect a company that's overseeing a 40-year
Daily basis.
certification to visit the project site? I mean, I imagine they would want to be there, I mean, daily or weekly.
Daily
So they're
basis.
gonna correct, so what does that mean in terms of travel costs that they will be charging us?
Well,
That
they,
doesn't make sense.
I don't think
Villa
they're
Rica
capable.
don't do that. They come once a week. At
They want
tops.
to
So
subcontract.
once a
to
week is gonna cost $900?
She's thinking.
That's in Sarasota, that's a Sarasota
She's
company.
thinking,
She wasn't listening.
explain to her that Miller Reinhardt is a Sarasota company which is not being considered.
This is not one of the last peak we are doing. Yeah.
Right, so,
Okay, got it. Okay.
The reason why I bring that up is because I want to explain the 5 companies we assessed and why we are leaning towards to finish with 2. And why we discarded the other one.
Mariana, just tell them after we.
So
pick,
you're-
if
so
we
you-
close, then we do in town meeting and they represent them everything.
Yes.
So this is your explanation that you followed the bidding process, that you followed the your bidding process.
And what is the basis for going in one direction or
Correct.
the other?
Gotcha.
Is there a certain number of bidders that you guys are supposed to, obtain for this 40 years?
We have 5. We have 5. We review 5.
the minimum is 2.
Okay.
But we are discussing today the engineering. You're questioning about the contractors, the ones that are going to actually do the job. I would say that 5 it could be a.
Yeah, but we
a
didn't go
reasonable-
through this.
No, yes.
We cannot go because we don't have a scope of work to give them.
The first step is to select the engineer. The engineer does the assessment, then decides what needs to be done, then help us with the bids, and finally they supervise the job. What we are discussing today is the engineer.
And then once the job is finalized, they give you a final assessment that the building complies with the requirements for recertification, and they submit that report at the conclusion of all the work to the authority having jurisdiction, who in turn issues the recertification for the building.
Okay.
Joanne, it's 2
We have a
processes.
table on the motion, can we please vote, sir? Can we please vote on the motion now?
Are there any other comments? If not, you can call the question to a vote.
I don't have any further comments.
Starting with Danny.
I'm going for Epic first, Falcon second.
Mariano,
Epic and second Falcon if we need to decide on negotiation.
Alexandra,
Epic first, Falcon second.
Regina,
Yes, ditto, Epic first, Falcon second.
Guillermo,
Epic first, Falcon second.
myself, Epic first, Falcon second. All in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Before we close the meeting, I got a problem over there.
I want to address the question from you.
I got a problem over there. We need to get the 7 guy on the board.
Yes, please.
We really need to get it, it's getting complicated, we need to know what is the situation over there because
Well, I mean, the board hasn't acted. Let's ask Mr. Blanch what is required to do that.
What you required to do?
Now that all board business on tonight's agenda has been concluded, I am making a motion to adjourn the meeting. There's no other topics that are
Well, of course, you don't wanna hear anything else. I wanna hear about the lawsuits against you that created liability for the association. I wanna hear about the lawsuit regarding the election. I wanna hear about what's going on with Capitol, because quite frankly, I haven't seen any repairs being made, but I see still stickers on the punch list all over the building. I think we're entitled to have some information to see that after the hundreds of thousands of dollars you've cost us, and you called me a liar, anybody can come to me and I will show him from Mr. Blanch's law firm the lawsuits that you have cost us money. Lawsuits for discriminating against people here and for violating the American with Disabilities Act. And the fact that we have a restraining order right now and a consent decree, I know, you can scream all you want, but go suck your thumb in the corner somewhere and tell your mom about it. If you come here, I'll give you a cookie. Have a cookie and go away. But the bottom line, Mariano, is I appreciate that you want to answer some of these questions, but I need to know that before we have to recur to lawsuits all the time and continuously go after.
An update on what Judge Millian is proposing?
Yes, Al Milian is out of order. He's professing outright lies. There is nothing else on the agenda.
But there's no lies, Mr. Lebowitz. There is a lawsuit against the association instigated by your libelous conduct. There is a lawsuit pending because of the election results. There is a pending lawsuit potentially from Capitol. We need to know. People want to get informed. How much money are you going to cost us now?
How much you can say about the
Marvin, you can leave the meeting. You're in a car somewhere. Go wherever you're going. Maybe somebody wants to see you.
You know, Marvin, the reality is there isn't anything else on the agenda, but you do have a board member that raised a subject. So, you know, in all honesty, that subject that was brought up by the board member could be addressed. The question was whether or not, or how you can go about appointing a seventh board member. We've had this conversation before.
We have a conversation and we have a recommendation, so we are in a lamp over it, you know?
But Danny, the answer is a very easy one. You schedule a board meeting, you put the item on the agenda, and the majority of the board members need to elect or appoint a seventh board member. You're gonna need a majority of the board members to do that, period. So, you know, that's the answer to the question. To address Mr. Milian, the reality is none of the other items that you've raised are on the agenda. Unfortunately.
Well, why not?
Ma'am.
Those are like the most important, topics.
I understand.
The lawsuits, the status of the capital project.
And your points, your respective points are noted. I think the board is hearing them and management, but unfortunately they're not on the agenda. And so once again,
Joan and Mr. Milian, let me answer you, Joan.
Danny.
I'm going to.
We are here, we can speak again with or without.
We play the game, no problem.
if you want to formally adjourn the meeting and
No,
have a discussion, that is
I
also
answer
fine.
them, I'm open, I answer them.
Danny, but you understand what I'm saying? You can formally adjourn the meeting and you can have an
continue
informal
having
discussion.
But is there any reason we can't have it on the record? I mean,
Because it's
look,
not-
The real
but these
reason you-
lawsuits are public records. I mean, there are pleadings filed, there are lawsuits against us,
That is correct.
instigated by Marvin Libowitz's behavior and misconduct. The issue with Capital, he can debate me all he wants, but I was there at the meeting when he said Capital was the best company to do the job, and he acted as a liaison. But I mean, these are things that are costing us money. My only other recourse is to either hire an attorney and sue the association, or file my own lawsuit, or inundate them with public records requests so that they can finally answer what's going on. And they can hire you, you're gonna make a lot of money per hour to tell me why that can't be answered. The other thing is to pull the pleadings out of the court and start putting them on the internet, which I don't think the board, if it's acting responsibly, necessarily wants that, because that's gonna lower the attractiveness of a building that is involved in this much litigation at this point. I'm trying to do this the nice way. I want answers. I wanna know what this is gonna cost us. I wanna know who's going to pay Are we covered by insurance? I'm not asking you to tell me what your attorneys are telling you in private. I'm not asking for attorney-client privilege. But I want to know if we're headed like the Titanic for an iceberg financially.
Look, I have no issues answering anything. Robert is going to help and not to say anything that I shouldn't say. But nothing of that is secret, and the building is not ours, so I don't have any issues. We can assure, we can not assure. I don't need to be in the records. I don't mind being in the records.
The only person that's hysterically trying to stop this conversation is Marvin Lebowitz, and I think I know why.
Well, in a point, we need to start having meetings that open and finish. Because if not, you know what is my concern? With the level of aggression we see here every day, and I understand where that's coming from, is that nobody else is going to be in the board. And if you see that in the 2020 when I got elected, I believe there was like 15 different candidates, and last year there was 6. So I would like to have 15 again, because if we don't have 15, the same people keep being elected.
Mariano, your point is well taken, but the problem has been this guy Lebowitz. Everything seems to circle around him, his negotiations with Capital, the lawsuits he's instigated. I mean, there's a long history. If we get the billing records from Mr. Blanch's law firm, we'll see that he is the individual who's stinking up the room all the time. He can't work with anybody. He can only dictate to people like he's trying to do right now. And I think we, the owners, have a right to know if we're paying because we have an incompetent cretin on the board who tries to intimidate board members, insult contractors, and is causing the problems, because maybe you all need to vote to get him out. Whether you can get him out first as the president, and second of all from the board, which he seems to be unqualified.
Look, if this conversation is going to be about Marvin Lebowitz, it makes no point.
But why are you watering it down, though?
No, we can talk about any single point that you raised.
Okay, get off on the narcotics. You were the one who did the thing with the pool. I had nothing to do with it at all. I had nothing to do with the pool. It stands on the record.
The first thing, again, should we adjourn? What's your recommendation?
Do you have a new business on the agenda?
My feeling is that there's nothing on the agenda for appropriate discussion of these items. I don't have an issue with you guys adjourning and having an informal conversation. My only concern is we shouldn't be setting precedent of taking items on an agenda that are items for discussion formally at a board meeting that aren't on the agenda. That's my only concern.
What about new business?
There's not new business on the agenda. I do agree, Danny, let me finish, please. I do agree that the membership should be informed of what's going on. Now, with that also said, Judge DeLeon can also appreciate, with regard to ongoing litigation, the board cannot speculate as to many of the items that you've alluded to. You know, the extent to which damages are gonna be covered by insurance, the ultimate liability to be imposed. The association can disclose, for example, that it's vigorously defending all of these cases, that it has participated in mediation with Capital, that it is attempting to settle the claim. There are also ongoing discussions in the other cases to settle, while at the same time the association is denying liability and pursuing the defense of those cases. But we cannot get into the nitty-gritty details of what's going on in each one of those cases with respect to our strategy as a defendant in those cases, nor can we speculate on a lot of those.
I agree with you 100%, but I also want to know who's gonna cover the liability. Do we have insurance, or is the homeowners association?
I can tell you that you have insurance defense counsel defending you in the election challenge case, as well as the let's call it the defamation case. There is no insurance counsel in the Capital case. And there was a mediation, a week, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
So,
ago.
so your law firm is representing us on the capital
On the
case?
capital case.
Okay,
correct.
so we're paying directly out of our pocket.
That is correct.
All right.
For the defense of that case.
And can you tell us if we have any insurance coverage in any of those cases? I mean, an insurance.
You don't have
No?
insurance coverage on the capital case.
Okay.
You've got reservations of rights on the other 2 cases.
What do you mean reservation of rights?
It means that they're defending you under the reservation of rights. They're
Let's say,
reserving.
let's say somebody own our money, who pay for it, the insurance or we pay for it?
Well, we have to discuss that depending on how the outcome of those cases arise. We can't discuss that.
Well, in the terms you're explaining to me, it leaves that our pockets are vulnerable.
There is a potential vulnerability.
Okay. See, you answered my questions without a problem. You didn't object, you didn't become hysterical and call me a liar. But these lawsuits, for everybody who's listening, do in fact exist, and they could end up costing us money. And that's not speculation, that's just a fact.
Yes.
Okay, and I didn't never ask you, and I would never stoop to ask an attorney or the board members to disclose attorney-client privilege, strategic or tactical considerations. I just think that I know a lot of people in this building wander around wondering what is happening because we all know that these things have occurred. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't gotten anything from the board explaining to us what's going on. Even though I've asked it and I've sent emails directly to the board.
Because I am happy, Mr. Blanche, over here, we can answer you, because with the traffic of the stuff, we have so many things, I'm confused what I can answer or not, you know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, it's too much. Here today, I give you an example today.
Danny, I think we should.
I don't know what to answer.
Yeah.
You know?
My question's been answered, Mr. Blanche, and I
Thank
think
you
I have
very
enough
much.
information to work with the rest of the association.
See, I'm
Thank
confused,
you.
I don't know what is.
All right, Danny.
That's it.
I suggest that a motion be presented to adjourn the meeting, please.
Alexandra wanted to say something.
Yes, Alexandra?
Yeah, I will make that motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Alexandra. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Danny.
Second, Regina, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm in favor.
Meeting adjourned.
Danny is in favor. Everybody voted in favor of the adjournment. Thank you very much.
You see, my nature is.
Danny?
Recording stop.
My nature
Is the
is,
meeting
I never,
over? Yeah, you turned it off?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I never write from you guys anything from nobody.
Paul, are you still recording this?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No, don't record this, please, take it off. If you're recording, I'm not talking.
I understand what you're saying, but let me tell you something, it's a huge source of frustration for the membership, and you're not gonna get.
Judge, my
You're always
biggest
gonna-
concern.
Let me finish. You're not gonna get a happy civilized world when you have a guy involved in these many issues, and you don't wanna, but he seems to be the axis of problems. Did you know that, and you know because I sent it to the board, that one of his pit bulls attacked
Yes.
Paul and his dog?
And I'm planning
But
to
that's
go to the
that's a
police
huge,
myself.
that's a